I'm Kristina Kloberdanz, Chief Sustainability Officer at Mastercard, and I'm here in Glasgow at COP26, and I have the privilege of spending a few minutes with Ani. Ani, would you introduce yourself and your role?
Dasgupta, I'm the CEO and President of WRI, and it's a pleasure to be here.
Can you explain WRI?
WRI is a global organization working on intersection environment and development. We are a 40-year-old organization. We're about 1,800 plus staff, but present all over the world. And our difference in a lot of organizations than us is we not only work on the questions of environment, but we very closely work with businesses because we think for the world to change to 1.5 degrees, businesses have to change to 1.5 degrees.
Absolutely. Thanks so much. And MasterCard is a partner with WRI and very much looks to the science and the guidance. We earlier at COP accelerated our net zero commitment from 2050 to 2040 and align with science-based targets. But we also have an opportunity to partner together with our Priceless Planet Coalition in the commitment to plant 100 million trees. We look to WRI as one of the experts in the field in guiding that for us. So could you talk a bit about companies that have yet to engage and invest in nature, but are looking to do so responsibly? What would you recommend?
Kristina, the first thing is it's so encouraging right now, how many companies, like right now where we are in this pavilion, the companies all over trying to engage, trying to do the right thing. So this is a very encouraging thing. If there was one message to me about nature and companies, it would be to engage where it matters, engage with the communities on the ground, that they know their surrounding and how to protect and enhance nature, how to restore. Work with them or work with people who know them closely. And that is the only way. Focus on the real change on the ground and focus on the knowledge of hundreds of years people have collected of living successfully with nature, right? So that will be my main message. Work with the people who matter and work with, because it's not nature we need to protect. We need to protect nature and livelihood and people who live among nature.
Great, and that's one of the things with our Priceless Planet Coalition, that first and foremost, it is about climate, but if we stop there, we're failing. It has to be about community and biodiversity as well. So we're here, and could you speak a little bit about nature at this COP and what potentially you're hopeful about that you see here?
I think this COP is actually a watershed COP for nature. We have never seen so much focus on nature, and I think there would be no COP in the future where nature wouldn't be discussed. So people will remember this COP as a shift. I want just two stories. One is I was there on the second day of the World's Leaders Summit. I was sitting there. I've never seen so many presidents and prime ministers trying to outdo each other about how much they love forests and nature. This is such a good thing, right? Yeah. The second, on practical, I was very encouraged by the African leaders, 3 African leaders launched AFR 100, right? A focused attempt to restore 100 million hectares of degraded land in Africa. And as you know, 31 plus countries have come together, already pledged 121 million hectares. And that, now we're going to the second phase, and these leaders said, we need to do it right. We know how to do it. We brought people together. Now we need to raise at least $2 billion to get it going. I love this ambition, momentum, and most importantly, the political leadership for this.
Fantastic. And so there was so much that was a road to COP, and quickly it's going to be the road from COP. And it's clear that business has had such a increased presence here. Nature integrated has been, as you said, kind of a watershed moment. The commitments have been vitally important, but insufficient if we don't turn those into action. And that has to be with speed, it has to be with scale, it has to be collectively. So as we leave here and you reflect on this COP overall, what are you potentially most hopeful about leaving here?
Look, today is the middle of the second week, right? It's kind of a critical moment of what's happening in negotiation. So let me say something that's happening in negotiation and something that already has happened outside negotiation. On the negotiation, we all knew that given the NDC commitment that we had seen before COP, that'll be very difficult to reach 1.5 degrees, right? We knew that. It's disappointing, but we knew that. The question was, would we do something here that allows us to keep 1.5 degree alive? right? That was the outcome. So we think, I'm cautiously optimistic that it's still possible. There are certain large emitting countries that needs to come back and propose more significant reduction by 2030. I think that's possible. It's still in the text. It's possible. Financing has to work out. People are disappointed what happened in financing before COP. I think there's a place to recover. And finally, adaptation, loss and damage. All three areas, this morning the text came out, they're hopeful signs. So we don't know what will happen till actually it happens in the end, but there's a cautious optimism right now. However, what's happened outside the negotiating process has been very encouraging. You talked about Nature Day already. 100+ countries have committed to reverse or reduce forest damage and degradation. 109 actually, has signed the methane pledge to reduce methane by 30% by 2030. 43 countries actually, I might get the numbers wrong, but have pledged to, with UK's lead, on sustainable agriculture. I don't know, 23 countries have agreed to stop, additional countries, to stop coal in a particular point in time. So there is a series of very, very positive things that will happen. If we now get a positive and negotiated document, this might finally turn out to be a successful COP.
Well, here we are. Thank you so much. There are a few days left, but really appreciate you joining us today, Ani. Thank you so much.